Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kai-Fi. I'm glad you could be here. If you are new, welcome. This is a Kai-Fi theory. And if you are returning, what's good? I have a really special reading for us today, and it involves the relationships. The dreaded relationships. Nobody really likes to talk about it, but I have a unique perspective on the whole system in general of what a union is. It's not just a relationship, it's a union between two people, two parties, two entities, two souls, right? So we're going to jump right into that. This is the Zin-Finity board. It is an elementally energetic grid that flows in a 21-part circuit, housing all aspects of the mind in a still life version. So basically, you can imagine your life on pause, and there's a menu that pops up, and this is the menu. We're going to put cards on this menu to get a good perspective of what's happening around you, in and outs of everything specifically. And anything that you can possibly think of is here. It's up to us to make it clear. Alright, so relationships. I have some components for them, right? And I wrote them down just to make sure I didn't forget. Alright, so regularly, this is who you are in totality. When you say I, this is everything that you're talking about. This is the I, everything, right? But in the union, this I is split into two functions, two factions, two parties, right? That's the concept. But the I is still there. So what actually happened during the relationship? There's something that is above you two because you two are in union. There's a perspective above you two because you are operating as one soul now. So there's a new body. There's a new mind, there's a new soul, there's a new spirit, right? But it's one body, one mind, one soul, one spirit. That's how you operate in union, right? So the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. When it comes up to the divine masculine, you have what's in the mind, that's the kingdom. When it comes up to the divine feminine, this is the spirit, which is the queendom. But that's the castle, right? That's where everything is. So there's the kingdom, there's the castle, and then there's the flag. What is the flag? It is right here. This portion right here represents the superconscious within a union, right? But within yourself at the same time. So that's the last time I'm going to say that. I'm going to just keep bringing the information as a union. So this is where the superconscious is, and this is where your aspiration is. So as a union, this is where you throw up your flag. This is what you represent. This is what you're after. This is what you're going towards. This is the lineage. This is the direction you see yourselves headed. It's right here, the superconscious. But it's new. It's above both of you. Where do you guys sit? Right in these two places right here. So right here is light right here, and the dark is right here. So it's just understanding that these two places. These are the king and the queen positions of the mind, right? So you have the kingdom, you have the castle. Now let's talk about the court. The court is within the home right here. This is the court. Why? Because in the tree of life, I found it, but I'm gonna just talk about it. The page is right here. The knight is within the heart. The queen and the king is within the third eye. So we're here right here. That's these two positions right here. So this is where the court sits. Now, what is the significance of the court? The court makes the decisions. The court tells the body what to do. The mass, what's to do. How to operate. What rules to follow. That's where that comes in. So when the turmoil happens in a relationship, it's happening within the home, but that's the court. So yeah, moving on. I talked about the flag, I'll talk about the court. Now, what grounds the whole situation? The even ground, the foundation. So you can call it, the best way to understand it is even ground, because if it's tilted, if it's unbalanced, you really can't build off of that. And when you do, and the situation becomes balanced, there needs to be a restructuring. So a balanced foundation is where the world of manifestation is. But understand that as your bodies and what you can claim around you, what you already have, what you retain, and your skills and things like that. Everything that is used physically with our eyes that we see, that's within the body, right? Now let's talk about love and balance really quickly. I kind of talked about balance, but I want you to understand love as movement. I give you flowers, therefore it moves you to do something. And romance just builds the magnetic attraction towards each other. So you got to kind of keep up that romance in order to keep that spark, that initial spark, whatever it is, right? In order to keep you guys connected spiritually, you have to keep that sense of romance in, right? That's the reason for it. Romance is not dead. There's a reason for it. But it's a bar that diminishes over time, so you have to keep it up. That's what that's about. So love is movement. Don't think about love the way we wanted to understand love is. That's luminance in the first place. But true love is what we're after. So we have love, which is movement, and then true love. And that only comes after a balanced situation. Then you evolve. Then it evolves, and it like kind of transforms into true love. But let's keep going. So I told you about the soul, but the soul is split in two places when it comes up to this area right here, within the ether. So as the divine masculine, you're going to be sitting right here within the will. As a divine feminine, you're going to be sitting right here within the spirit. So, but that's the id. Basically, that's your identity, right? You're going to be sitting here, right here. And yeah, let's move on from there. So as I was saying, all major arcana cards are love cards, right? Movement. Now, all Sephiro on the Tree of Life, these 10 points right here, well, there's 2 right here, but it's 10 Sephiro, right? Those 10 points are all feminine. These lines, which represent the masculine nature, right, are the love between the perspectives. So if you're thinking too much, doing something is the thing to do, but love balances that energy. So I hope you understand that one concept so you can translate what's happening on the board right now. So these are the positions within the castle. The castle is stationary. You go out to an adventure, you want to come back to the same place. The castle doesn't move. So the perspective doesn't move either. It just gets greater. It just becomes more of itself. So that's the masculine principle, all the love. That's all of these lines that you see. Now, all of the spaces that you see is feminine because that, that's the womb nature. That's the matrix of it all, right? So the feminine really represents the energy that powers the home. The masculine represents the forms that build on top of the home, make it better, make it stronger, that kind of thing. But without the energy, the home doesn't even live. Without the forms, eventually the home will crumble. So there's a partnership here. We are on the same team. And that's the reason why I even went down this line in the first place. There is a such thing called gender roles, but it's energetic above everything else. And it's above us. So we have to kind of, how you say God first, right? Going with that godly divine energy where it leads you would show you where you fit. And let me say this one thing. In the union, you can't have ego. You have mind, but you can't really have ego. Why? Because ego is about fantasy. Within the union, your dreams align naturally because God ordained it that way. You were there for the dreams to align. And if you naturally go into your positions, the things that come naturally to you, the easiest, the path of least resistance is where God is telling you to go. The path of least resistance. When you do that, you guys will go into your natural positions and it will look like this within the mental aspect of it all. And this is what we're going to go into now. So we're going to start getting these cards, starting off with the first part of the reading, which is Prima Materia. This is the who, what, when, where, and why, the situations. Now, this is the feminine nature. It's the questions. It's what fills the space. So we have to get the energy out first. What's the energy? Well, it's more like what's the source. So starting off with the world of emanation, which is the superconscious, right? The flag. Show the world the real you. So between you guys, there's kind of a fake perspective that's been shown. And if you would let the world know, they would have to back down. Because this is your castle and your kingdom. And this is your rulership. So if people have an interest and a sway in trying to figure out how you should be going about your life, that's not for you. They are not in your court. And if they are, they need to be kicked out. You have to understand that. This home is now you guys. You guys share this home. Whoever comes in it without permission, you know, next thing you know, you see me naked, I'm getting dressed in the bathroom, you shouldn't even be here. Like, that kind of thing is going on. You see me exposed. Alright, so that's who. What? Let me see. Okay. Believe in the impossible. That's what. That's the thing to believe in. The item, the manifestation, what you guys talked about that you can bring to life, that looks and sounds impossible because all of the haters around you. That's the thing to believe in. But you have to shut them out. Within this bubble right here, that's you guys. Everything outside of it is an outside influence, something that can help you grow or something that will diminish you guys, right? It's one or the other. But you have to protect this like this is a womb, and it is. So that's what. So 2 cards came out. It can't be reversed. When and where. So in regards to when, this is holding your vision. If you hold your vision, the time will be shorter. Why? Because this is on the side of the masculine. So let's talk about it. That was the union between you two. This is the masculine aspect of it. This is the conscious aspect of it. The ego's at play. So it's a union. Understand who naturally dominates this area. But you guys were this whole thing in the first place. So find where you fit. So holding your vision. This is a form that tames that chaos. The thing that lingers. The thing that is always... Okay, let's talk about it. Chaos is eternal. So that means that no matter how much light you give to the situation, there will always be a bit of chaos that will overrun it eventually. So even though this is a place where all the energy comes from, all the creation, all of everything, it eventually will take over because you have to keep up on the game. So whatever you guys started out with was a fantasy. You know, that the butterflies, all of this, oh, this is coming true. But now that that's gone, the dream and what you guys have to work towards within yourselves, but for the same cause, is coming into play right now. So holding that vision, write it down. How about you guys combine your vision boards? How about you create one by yourself, don't let the other party look at it, and then have one date, get some wine, 2 bottles, and put them all in the same board and just draw lines like with the thumbtacks and all that stuff to compare and all that. I don't know why this is important, because some people are like that. Oh, if they can see it, then I don't have questions. And if I don't have questions, I just operate. Questions cause stagnancy. So that's when. Where is within the spirit. This is the divine feminine, right? So let's talk about it. Adjustments are required. Now this is within the energy. This can be toxic or it can be nurturing. Now this is both for you guys. Now this is the spiritual area. Who you know or who you are becoming and how it's affecting the inner castle. The energy that you guys have at your disposal. Because you guys build off of each other every day. And being in each other's presence in the first place builds a certain energy, because it's almost like Well, the eighth principle is compounding interest. You love them and they love you. So just that initial knowing is an action that's happening constantly, and you just build an energy next to each other. You don't even got to do anything. You just got to know it. So the last question is why. You're very close to achieving your goal. That's why. That's why this is all happening. This is why it's so hard right now, because the devil hates, absolutely hates union. Why? Because you're becoming, like, you know how they say we are all God, right? So if two gods come together, that's a double God. That's like in operation right now. That's scary to the devil. Just seeing that, walking down the street, I can be inspired. Oh, I'm a get there one day. And the next thing you know, I'll have my union, I'll have my protection, I'll have this castle for me and my queen. So it's like, all that protection, no, stay away from each other. Don't actually get to the goal, but you're very close to achieving your goal. So that's why all this is happening. So let's get some of these answers really quickly. For who? Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Now, don't lose the beauty and romance of life. This is who? You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you. Be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. So I had a reading recently where I talked about friendship being the highest vibrational form of union. Friendship. Why? Because if you look at the tree of life, friendship is at Hokmah, right? So that's basically right next to the secrets. That's that area where if I pillow talk with you, all of that information is safe. I can hold that to account. You know, you'll keep that safe. I can give you my inner secrets, and you'll actually help me build past it. That's where you are as a friend. And if you're a true friend, just regular friendship outside of the union, that regular friend is not going to come into this at all without permission. Hey, can I come in here to do something? I want to do something. Hey, I found this out. They're gonna ask. It's gonna be warranted. It's gonna be registered. It's gonna be logged in. It's gonna be something that will help because it's agreed upon. Or if it goes down, it's agreed upon, so nobody's to blame. Y'all can just say, we're not gonna do that again. But this requires a lack of ego. You cannot have ego in relationship. It's all, oh man, it's really silent, but the energy that comes out goes into its own place. So yeah, that was who? What? Believing in the impossible, blue moon. Alright, so this is what? Missed a chance and it might not come back anytime soon. What happened may only happen once. The person you're inquiring about is a rare find. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. The situation is unlikely to repeat. So now repeating will never happen. You will never find a person. You will never find those same butterflies again. Why? Because that person was sent to build you up. You are a new person now. So you can't go back to your own mindset for the same attraction. You have to find out who you are now for who that person is attracted to. So believe in the impossible, that feeling can happen again on a whole new chapter. And that's within the union. So this is reinventing. This is whatever that word is. Oh man, rejuvenation. Right. So holding your vision, the fixed moon. So staying power, faith or patience are needed. This is when staying power gives you a scale of the time. So saying you're gonna be there, confirming to the person, securing the person's fears, that kind of thing will make it come faster. Pause or not, but it would make it come faster because that magnetic attraction has to do with attraction in general. So if you guys are in unison in mind, then the spirits can relax and just attract. So yeah, avoid stagnation. Someone needs to back down. A personal or professional relationship will be enduring. So backing down, again, that's that ego, because you're flowing into place, and ego says, I'm gonna go against the wave, right? So next up is third quarter moon in where. So where adjustments are required. Your life may be out of balance, and this may be causing you issues. It may be time to hatch a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Trust may be required to move the situation forwards. Now, the pedestal. Oh man, I had a message about the pedestal. When you pedestalize somebody, sometimes you're trying to boost them up, big them up, build them up. So in an imbalanced situation where you are not the healthier minded person, you don't even supposed to think that way. You're supposed to understand that you know something that you can give to this person that puts you on the scale and them down here, but that's not even a bad thing. It's just something that you can give them, which is experience, so they can level out the situation with you, right? So when they're down here, you put them on a pedestal, and then they rise and come up to the occasion themselves because you put them on a pedestal. Now the problem with this is this. Now the scale was down here, but the pedestal was up here now. So when they rise, they have to understand that that pedestal was there, and they can't be in their ego to understand that it was a balanced situation in the first place. So they can big you up, but you need to come down on off that pedestal yourself. I hope that made sense. Alright, so as for why is the gibbous moon, you are very close to achieving your goal. Now is a good time to review your plans, keeping the momentum going as you move forward to your dreams. Stay focused. It is a good time to start a new project. You need to get back into good health habits. Now, relationship health. That's talking about that romance thing, right? So romance breeds potential, because I do something for you, and I do something for you, and I do something for you. I'm giving you energy. Just imagine like it's a kamehameha into your body, but a good one, right? So now you have all of this energy, right? This ka. Think about it. So now you have all of this, and you want to get rid of it because you're like, I can't contain this. I need to do something for you now, right? And that breeds potential. But what happens? What do you do with that? There's so many different ways, but all the potential is on the divine feminine side. So when it comes up to why, it's talking about how your spirits need to talk to each other, and you do that with the clear senses. So look them up. So that was Prima Materia, and that gets the reading going. So we have all of the elements at play right now, and now we're going to get the perspectives at play. This is an elementally energetic board. So this is what crowns the reading, right? We're going to start from the crown chakra, Page of Pentacles. So that basically means being yourself automatically gets rid of the fear, because you're becoming more of who you are, and that makes you more concrete. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Concrete in your mind. I'm going to just say it again. Right? So let me get the next two. Okay, that one was about to pop out. So the Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Right. And should I accept this? No. That's why. The Hierophant reversed. So let's talk about these cards really quickly. These cards are within the world of emanation. So that's why I stopped right here. This is your soul's language. You guys in the union have the Page of Pentacles energy within your personas, right? So let's get this. This is ambition, desire, and diligence. Now, this can be against each other, separate from each other in your own passions, or for each other in the dream. But passion, and it's in general, you know, if it's true, if you're meant to be with that person, your passions will align somehow, some way. So you guys are diligent workers in that process to find out what you can do for the other person and how that can fit with your life. That is perfect. That is perfect. Why? Because you're constantly reassuring to this person that you're not going to be in my way. I'm not going to force you to do anything. And IU, the same thing. It gives a certain amount of confidence that you can stand on. You wake up with so much energy. And if that's not the situation right now and you want to feel that kind of energy, you have to be more transparent with that, where you're going. You can't be afraid of if they want to go in a different direction, because that different direction might lead you into the same highway immediately, eventually. You just never know. So that was IB, that's your being. Next energy is I want, what you guys want out of the situation. This is on the divine masculine side, but it's a want in general, conscious want. So the Knight of Pentacles, efficiency, hard work, and responsibility. This energy is on suit. What do I mean by that? I'm trying to get the energy from the crown to the root, back up to the crown. So I'm trying to make a link from the crown to the root. So we're doing that, and it passes Hokmah right now. So we're still good. All of the energy. But when it comes into the Hierophant, this is Earth, and it shouldn't be over here. And this is off suit. So we're going to talk about that. But the Knight of Pentacles, efficiency, hard work, and responsibility. This is how you guys operate as a conscious entity. And this is why the devil doesn't want it to work. This is why the attacks are so blatant. This is why the attacks are so, like, it makes you cringe. This is why you just want to, leave. And if that's the case, this is why this horse is here. You're going to take your blessing and go. Maybe you guys need to go to a different place. A different change of scenery will put you in the right place. If you are a seed that's supposed to be manifested, you have to have the right soil. So find that good soil, right? But this is on suit. You guys are willing to do that. Where you're going is the right location. So that's confirmation. Next up is I need. This is within the third eye, right? And this is duality. That was mentalism. This is duality. So the Hierophant reverse, and this is off suit. Rebellion, subversiveness, and new approaches. Now, this is an earth energy that blocks you from getting what you need. You're thinking, okay, you guys as a unit have an ego to you because you know where you guys are going to go. So it's like world domination energy, but relationship, power couple energy. But it's like, that's not the reason that God brought y'all together, to be a power couple. You have power. Keep the power on the inside. When you show your power, people come after it. And that's why you're being attacked so much. It's because you're openly showing everybody your power. Keep things secret, and people won't even know to attack you. Oh, you don't have anything because I don't see it. Right. And this is how you keep what you're showing. Well, what you were showing before, this is how you keep it. And this is the reason, when you do that, you won't need to replenish much more. You can keep it. You can grow it. All right. So let's get this next cards. These next cards are going to be for vibration. So for Scorpio is the Ace of Cups, and this is water. This is off suit. So in a place of I know, what you know is what leads you guys is an emotional decision. Is an emotional, from an emotional place. You go towards a certain thing because you guys feel like you should. Now, just because it's a union, you guys are acting like a new body, and that new body can be wrong too. Just because I'm saying that it's a perfect thing, you're human, right? You guys can both make mistakes too. But this is the part of the process where the mistakes have half the effect, because you guys are in union. Oh, you're about to fall, let me grab you. Oh, I'm about to fall, you're gonna grab me. So it's like, whatever affects you is half, because you have something to protect you. That home is sturdy. So that was the vibration of it. Let me get frequency and energy. So frequency is Aries, energy is Sagittarius. All right, so frequency energy. Alright, so that's the Four of Cups. So let's get these explanations really quick. Starting with the vibration, I know, with the Ace of Cups. This is off suit, by the way. This is on suit, and this is off suit. So an emotional knowing what you guys have experienced before. Traumas that you guys both have had on opposite spectrums are coming into play right now. So new feelings, spirituality, and intuition. Because you guys have had experiences, you also have perspective. So if you share these perspectives, if you share these traumas, and you truly say you are for one another, that information is protected. Like pillow talk, that's protected. That stays between you and the other person within the home. So let me explain the home real quick. You see these four corners, right? That's the house, and this is the roof. Your experiences cover the home, so when it rains, it doesn't leak inside. So your experiences, the more you gather, the bigger your roof can be, the more protected you are from the elements. And they're outside elements. So yeah, that's the Ace of Cups. The next one is the Four of Cups, and this is in a place of I will. And this is reversed. So sudden awareness, choosing happiness and acceptance. So when water is reversed, it's more air, right? So air, water, right? That's the relationship between that. So this is a mental aspect because it's something emotional that happens in a way you're going to move because of it, right? And that's a sudden awareness, choosing happiness and acceptance. You're not accepting anything anymore because you understand what I just mentioned to you, that people were after your goods. They have to come within the castle grounds to steal something. And if they've infiltrated, you can find the problem. You can see where this is happening. So this is off suit. The next energy, that was energy. This is frequency. So this is on suit with the Four of Swords. Wow, Four of Cups, Four of Swords. I didn't even realize how I just said it. So rest, restoration, and contemplation. I said rejuvenation is one of them RE words. I remember saying that. So restoration came up. Now contemplation, this is within the spirit. That was on the divine masculine side. So the will was a little bit off. But it's a non-emotional thing because of an emotional event. You guys have made a decision and you're going to stick with that. But when it comes up to here, the energy required to go with these decisions come with a sense of rest and restoration, relaxing within each other's perspectives, because that's the home that you occupy. You occupy my mind, I occupy your spirit, and vice versa. So that really explains that. There's not much more to say about it. But this is where, in the place of desires, so your desires will come true, and that's attractive. They will come to you guys. So not that you have to go find the place, the things will come to you along the way. It's almost like a caravan. So if somebody was recently talking about a caravan, two types of caravans, the Jeep mini caravan or whatever, and then there's a caravan of cars, multiple cars going in a direction. So this is like, it could be a funeral, somebody could have passed recently. If this resonates for you, then you know this is talking directly to you. So moving on, the next energies, this is with Leo, and this is the heart chakra. And this is I love, of naturally, of course. But as I said, love is movement. But this is the place of beauty. And the Ace of Swords came out. So the Ace of Cups right here, and the Ace of Swords came out right here. Perfect. So 1111 is coming up right now. Or just 11. Is one of the master numbers. So this is a mastery. A master action when it comes up to your space. Your guys' space. Now, within the heart is the mind. So the space within the heart is the mind. But this is what you can see. So you have to understand it as a sphere of influence. A sphere of what you can possibly capture within the domain that you guys occupy. Right? This is the Ace of Swords. Let's get this. This is breakthrough, clarity, and sharp mind. Now, you guys, when it comes up to the infiltrators, have a good, they want to take the beautiful things out of your life because they don't have it. Or they want to be a part of it and suck the energy from it. So it's one of those two things. And you guys having an eye on this, or an eye on something that maybe can be an addiction that gets in the way of you guys. Now, addiction, but anything that you do often to relieve can be an addiction. Meditation can be an addiction, but it's a good one, right? Or you would think so. But too much of anything is a bad thing. That's what they say. So too much meditation, no movement. Moving on from there, we have the solar plexus. And this is the King of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. This is a lot of manifestation that's in the way when it comes up to, okay, this is the place of habits and patterns and thoughts and things that keep happening in your mind that you have to stop and things like that. And this is you having to get up in the morning to do that thing that you don't really want to do, but it's not going to last that long. But in a union, because you're doing it for the other person, you have that extra energy. Doing it just for yourself, like when you're single and things like that, you have to rely only on yourself, and it requires a different kind of practice, right? So it's a practice within itself, but in a union, it's a practice with yourself and your significant other's self, right? So the King of Pentacles, abundance, prosperity, and generosity. This is offsuit. As I said before, you are doing things to please other people's eyes and to give things to other people like you guys made it, instead of not hoarding these things. But that's money out of your pocket. That's manifestations you're giving away, right? Now, if you would manifest within the home instead of giving out, your castle can grow faster. But because you guys have different fantasies, you have to understand the dream and kind of eliminate the fantasy. You are each other's dream. But let me explain this really quickly. The eye of the spirit of the divine feminine looks at fantasy. The eye of the divine masculine looks at the dream. The dream is 10-part fantasies, right? Now, as a man, we can, this is why, see, now here's where the world comes into play, or what should and shouldn't happen right now. I talked about this in my other reading. You have 10 perspectives as a divine feminine to fill and occupy. Now, you can leave this job up to one man, or you can have multiple around you that get the job done, the perspective that you want to keep. Because as these perspectives are filled, your fantasy is achieved. Now, I'm not coming at y'all. I'm talking about the energy of the divine feminine energy. This is what the energy wants to do. It wants to fill those spaces. But it is also of a nurturing aspect. So you nurture the divine masculine within both of you to get the job done for yourselves. So not relying on outside influence right now. That's what's coming up. Alright. So the king, let's move on to the next place, which is cause and effect. And this is a place of I feel. So these are what the feelings are. Let me explain this really quickly. There's emotions within the spiritual space. Within your shadow, you have the identification, your id, right? Your id is the thing that controls your emotions, your desires, and your feelings. Those are 3 separate things. Your emotions, your desires, and feelings. Your emotions are the potential energies before to get to the desire. You know what I mean? Your emotions are the things that give your desire like the attraction to it. Like, I will get it, and I have these emotions for it. It will happen, and that's an energy. That's a spiritual energy to get what you desire, making it more magnetic and things like that. So yeah, That's what that. A feeling is something that you project or give into the home. So this is the court right here. You project your feelings into the court. But if the feelings, are too heavy, then there's less action. Why? Because this is water and this is fire. This is the solar plexus. This is the sacral chakra. The more water that's in here, the less fire. It's just what it is. It's a balance of all things. So yeah. I'm not even sure which way this came out, so I'm gonna do it right side up. Let me see. Okay. Right side up. Alright, so the Hangman. Sacrifice, release, and martyrdom. This is becoming one of my favorite cards, like top 5. Why? Because the Hangman, when it talks about the martyr is the fantasy. The fantasy, just think of your consciousness as the thing that dies and rebirths all the time. Your spirit is there, right? Your spirit just gets stronger or a little bit weaker, but it just stays there. Your consciousness is the thing that goes through renewal. So that's the martyr. The fantasies that you've given up for the dream, that's the martyr. And when that person inside of you dies, the person that's there now, the not the protagonist, but the people, you know how Martin Luther King died and we just enraged about it, and now we're gonna figure it out, we're gonna do this, we're gonna join, we're gonna unite, that kind of thing. That energy behind the martyrdom is what happens with your new self, your new consciousness, your new ego, right? So this energy right here is perfect to have here, and this is why it's on suit. So next up, and the last one, is I am, or the law of generation, right? Alright, 2 cards came out. I'm gonna get them. So the 7 of Wands came out, right? And that's off suit. But the 6 of Wands came out in reverse, and that's on suit in the place of I am. So it's a little bit of ego here with the 7 of Wands, but it ended off with the 6. Let's get this. This is perseverance, taking defense, and maintaining control. Control is opposite of management. Management is the right way because it gives the opposite party control over themselves. Control is force. Force is not love. Management is love. I'm going to allow this person to do what they need to do to upgrade themselves, but, give them a little guidance as the manager, right? So, yeah. That's what that is. Then it went from there to the 6 of Pentacles. And this is reversed. So strings attached, stinginess, power, and domination. Now this is the reason for that control. And the strings attached is funny because there are no strings with magnets. And that happens with the spiritual connection. So you don't need to hold on to the other person in order for them to stay there. You just need to be yourself. And they will become, they will be glued to you, right? That's the way to go with that. But strings attached means that with my conscious mind, just imagine there you have conscious hands coming out and grabbing my spirit or grabbing their spirit, right? And saying, don't go nowhere. Oh, don't you love me? Oh, didn't I do this for you? That's a heartstring. That's a control string. That's what that's about. So within a union, you guys do this all the time. You have your heartstrings, but release the strings and allow the magnetic attraction to become better. That's what this is about. That's blackmail, honestly, because you're holding my heart hostage. That's spiritual blackmail when you do that. So don't blackmail your partner and think that that's not evil. It's a spiritual attack. So that was that. The next part of the reading is care. Now, care is the 8th general principle of the law of the universe, right? So what does this have to do with anything? Everything that is off suit, it requires a certain amount of care in order to balance the situation, right? So as I pluck cards in the order from the crown down to the root, the same order, right? I'm going to fix the situation with cards, and these cards represent the amount of time and energy required to fix the situation. So let's keep going. So that's what it started out. This is, oh, did two. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this. The sun is off suit because that's fire, but the Seven of Swords is on suit because this is air, and it's supposed to be air and water over here. So air, water on this side, fire, earth on this side, right? When it comes up to here, this is air or fire here. So this is the real thing. When this app comes out and I get these readers, your favorite readers, me, I have favorite readers, and oh man, follow, support, like, share, and subscribe. It will be here. They're gonna to go in on this information. They're going to go in, and I'm gonna be sitting right back, writing my notes, just figuring it all out. But yeah, let's get the sun and then the Seven of Cups right here on a place of I need. This is what fixes the situation. So as I said, all major arcana cards are love cards. But as I said, the love cards are conscious, and that means that's a masculine energy, right? So that is God giving you a form. That's somebody's consciousness having a good idea, right? That's what that's coming from. So it started off with the sun. Great card, wrong place. So this is joy, success, and celebration. Now, why is that in the wrong place? You don't need joy, success, and celebration. That's not where it should be. Because within the castle, it's already home. You don't need to really celebrate that part. You need to nurture it. You don't need to... That's like having a whole bunch of banquets and now you don't have no food for the rest of the people. That's like your castle being frivolous, drinking up all the wine, and forcing the people, they didn't even get none, but they make all of it. This is like that kind of energy that's coming out. So, like, if you have a child, and that child doesn't get much of anything, but you, as adults, get everything. That's what's coming out right now. But it goes in a union, because there are young parts of us, there are underdeveloped parts of us that get controlled and not managed in these situations. So I went from there to the Seven of Swords, and this is deception, trickery, tactics, and strategy. Now, this is good to have here because this is a thought. This is a thought process. This is not celebration. This is saying, okay, this is planning. We need to do something for what we need, right? We need to figure out how to keep what we have. This is maintaining. This is what that's talking about. So if you need to talk about that with your partner, how to maintain what you have in order to bring more of what you need. What does this mean? Sometimes you need to wait to pluck the fruit off the tree to get better fruit. I don't really know how to explain it any better than that, but I hope you got it the first time. But yeah, that's that one. That's what you need. The next energy that's off is what you know. I know. No. Now this is the Ten of Pentacles, and that's still off suit. Let's keep going. Not yet. Alright, the Magician. A lot of major arcanas are coming out right now, and it's a different deck, so watch it. Watch this. So the Ten of Pentacles came up after the Ace of Cups. So there was a great amount of emotions when it comes up to your experiences and the traumas, right? So the manifestations that you have made, like the fact that you guys found each other, was the foundation in your mind to create and to heal these traumas. And this is how you heal the traumas, with the Magician. An unlimited amount of ways working with each other to get past the issue, right? So 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, legacy, inheritance, and culmination. Legacy is one of my favorite words, right? Why? But this is in the wrong place. It shouldn't be here. This is off suit. Why? Because these manifestations are like a timestamp. They're not supposed to last forever. That's the building ground. That's the rubble for what you need to make your house out of. So that's going to be put out of place into new places so it can fit something different, built for you guys, right? And we're from there to the Magician, and this is what finished that energy. So this is willpower, creation, mastery, and adaptation. Ace of Swords was mastery too. So you learn to master your space, meaning basically your scope of availability. Your space is your scope of availability. Do you have the time and the money and the vehicle or whatever necessary to do anything you want, or are you constrained to a certain amount of things and you only have a limited amount of time and space to do it? But because you guys are good at working with each other, you have a lot of time and space to do whatever you need. So that's a mastery, and this is how you evolve with the situation in the first place. So the adaptation, you guys adapt so quickly. This is why the devil doesn't like unions, because like I said before, one person is about to fall, I hold you up. You about to fall, I hold you up. It's just like, now I gotta get both of y'all at the same time. And this is why division, a nation divided can't stand. You guys are a nation in this union, and a nation is within the mind. As above, so below, all is mind, right? So the next energy that needs to be fixed is I will. So the Emperor came up, and that fixed that right then and there, right then out of there. All right, so let's get the Emperor really quickly. It started off with the Four of Cups, and it was the 4 and the 4 connection right here. So let's see this. Authority, structure, control, and fatherhood. That control of manifestation that was over here with the ego got handled because you guys are sitting in your power now, and you guys make better decisions together because you not convene. What's that word? When you talk about the decisions with each other, whatever that word is, right? That's what you guys are doing more. You're doing that, and the best decision is made, and everybody's accounted for. Everything is accounted for. Because perspective is key. I can't see myself but outside the mirror, and that's not even my true self. But my significant other can see my true self, and I her, right? So yeah. Whoa. A whole big clump came out when it comes up to your habits, patterns, vices, and things like that. So let's see. Oh, Ace of Cups. It came out again. It came out again. So your knowledge, what you are doing is not the right method. You guys are good at adapting, but you're adapting with old methods. It's like, okay, you need to use a level 10 spell instead of a level 2 spell. You guys aced the level 2. You got to do something better. There's something better to be done about the situation. And it's leaving you guys in an emotional state because, okay, that's a lot. But what's this one? 4 of Pentacles. So 4, 4, 4 came out. And it's not complete yet. Alright. So the 3 of Wands came out, and also the King of Swords. So these 2 cards came out. I'm going to just go like this and go like this. Alright? Because that finishes the energy. And the last thing, there's nothing else that's off. So that was the last card that needed to be clarified. So, let's talk about it. It started off, this is the solar plexus in your place of I do or I think. So this is the pressure to do and the pressure not to do. The pressure to think and the pressure not to think. That's what the solar plexus is about. So it started off with the King of Pentacles, your manifestations, you thinking that the old methods and the old things that you have will last the whole ride. You guys are creators. You guys are innovators. And you guys are together, so you have double what you think you have, at least, right? So have confidence in yourselves. And it went from there to the Ace of Cups. Let's get it again. New feelings, spirituality, and intuition. Now, intuition is on this side, in the side of the spirit. Spirituality also. But this has to do with what you're after and the feelings. When you guys express yourselves to each other, then as the Emperor card is here, you know, as it was before, you get to understand what you're doing it for, and it becomes easier. Because these feelings that came out outweighed the solar plexus, right? So you weren't getting anything done. So let's move on from there. Instead of getting anything done, you went back to a sense of manifestations too. So will this next plan work? That's the kind of question that's going on with you guys. Will this next plan work? But if the person is not with you in that conversation, then it's just you by yourself and throwing the idea to them. And if it's rejected, that gives you like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. And it's up to the next person, the other person, to break you out of that. Because they started that. They allowed that rejection to put you in a shell, and now they have to bring you out that shell. It's just what it is. We have control over each other's hearts, these heartstrings. I won't go there with you no more because your heartstring pulled me not to do that. Right. So 4 of Pentacles. Conservation, security, and frugality. Right? Being stingy with those things. Stingy with the plan. Stingy with the outcome. Stingy with everything. Yeah. And went from there to the King of Swords, right? This is head of a heart, discipline, and truth. Now, what does this mean? The heart is in the middle of the spirit and the mind. So when you have a head of a heart decision, it's not the right decision to have here. But it supports it because it makes it so obvious that what your mind, what your consciousness was thinking, the fantasies, they're not real. And that's why you're sitting down. That's why you're a little bit more stagnant. But it's okay. The stagnancy is that break and relieving all of this energy all the time. So imagine you were doing something and you were spending 1,000 a day. Now you can't even do it no more, but you're still healthy. And you can only spend 100 a day in the same venture. Now all of that is stacking up into potential. But this is mental, right? So yeah, a head of a heart decision, you need to make a heart over head decision, because the heart is in the middle. The heart is where the balance is. We're so confused about what we need to be relying on, and the only thing we talk about is I. Yeah. And the last card was the 3 of Wands, and this fixed this energy. Looking ahead, expansion, and rapid growth. That's why. Because when you express yourself, you understand what was wrong. You held back a little bit, right? When you do this, this is the Trinity. Understand that this is the Trinity. And that means that these two sides are in union, bringing out the superconscious, the reason for the flag, the ambition. And this is nothing but leveling up now. You're doing things that only level you guys up. There's no deficit action. I don't even know if I have the right word. No actions that cause you to lose anything. No more. Because your mind is fixed. Your minds are sound with where you need to be. You fit. So that's the reason for care. Now that everything is balanced, what do we do next? We went from who, what, when, where, and why. Then we went to I be, I want, I need, I know, I will, I desire, I love, I do, or I think, I feel, and then I am. Now, this is where the ifs comes to play. And where we get these last oracle cards right here. This is where you can be mechanical about it and say, what do I do with this new information? Because in my theory, there's a complete circuit from the crown to the root. And now we're going to bring that energy back up to the crown. It's almost like What can you do with this excess manifestation power? This is what you do with it. If I experiment, if I express, if I integrate, if I transcend, therefore I will ascend. And that's how we bring it back from 0 to 0, right? Beginning to end. Alright, so let's get these first cards out. So courage in new life in the place of experimentation. Let's get this. So starting off with courage, you are being invited to summon your courage and take the next right action. Drawing this card can be nudging you to let go of any fears you are having and boldly move on ahead. This is your moment to seize the day, live your dreams, and step forward with confidence. You can meditate on the symbol and mantra whenever you need a boost of encouragement. So the fact that courage came on a spot of fear, I am, the root chakra, the fear sector, that's crazy. Having courage gets you to the next part. So what does it do? It brings a sense of new life. This is experimentation, experimenting with a new life. The new life that you guys have, and not the old fantasies that guided you to each other. So yeah, the arrival of new beginnings, or the budding start of something beautiful and long-lasting. Drawing this card can indicate a need or desire to start over with a sense of childlike wonder. What you are beginning will have a strong impact and a far reach. Drawing this card can indicate a positive relationship and or experience. So we already talking about relationships. And this is the Ankh right here. So that's the most divine relationship symbol out, I think, right? So yeah. Now, we think that we are adults, and we are. But what does that mean? You just have a certain amount of experience and a bigger body to manage and maintain in this world. So adult is basically grown child. A smart grown child, because you have your inner child, and that's what you start out with, that fearless inner child, and then you go through your circumstances and your upbringings and things like that, and you have to learn how to protect that inner child, and eventually all these learnings take over and you become fearful and things like this, and the next thing you know, you lose yourself and you end up on while watching like tarot readers and things like this to try to figure out who you are now. But luckily you are on this wave, and it can be done, because back then it wasn't able to be done on such a large scale. So I'm grateful for it, because it attracted me here. I'm a nerd with like the science fiction and things like that, and all this geometry and all that other stuff. I'm a nerd with it. I found it fascinating. And then when I came into my spirit, I was like, what is this? And then I found this, and now I'm here. Never knew I was going to be here. I had a whole plan for something else. But this is what God had a plan for me. This was the dream God aligned for me. So that's what I experimented with. Where can you take your experiments? So, as for if I express, let's get the rest of the cards out. Oh, too much. If you express your knowledge, so your knowledge is your experience, right? Knowledge is power, but it's a prerequisite. What do I mean by that? Knowledge is experience points for your skills that bring you power. Knowledge is experience points. So if you play any game and you have so many experience points to put on your skills, bring that bar up. Think about how you can implement this knowledge with your skills. That's how you bring your bar up, right? So yeah, that's knowledge. Let's get knowledge. Oh, let's get the rest of the cards. If I integrate, a sense of being veiled. Now this is coverage. The eyes are covered, not unveiled, veiled. Now this is with your actions. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. 2 came up. I let it go because 2 came up over here. In the place of transcendence, we have started with air, and then it ended off in karmic path. Now, yeah. Let's get the last card of the reading. Alright, came face down. I love it. Love it. Alright, so let's continue with if I express a sense of knowledge. Remain teachable. There you go. As you become new people, You are literally in a union to make that person better, because God brought you to them to reflect on each other, to make yourselves better as the divine mirrors you are built for each other for, right? Remaining teachable not only teaches you about that person, how to serve them better, but they are a reflection of you at the end of the day. So you are learning something about you, because they're doing the same thing, in retrospect, right? They're doing the same thing. So you understand what's happening when you remain teachable. That person is different the next day. You have to treat them as a new person. And if I'm doing it, right? If I'm doing that, the butterflies that you get when you meet a new person, this is how you can keep that energy. It went from there to if I integrate, a sense of being veiled. Alright. All is not being revealed at this time. Is someone around you hiding or holding back? This is the solar plexus right here. Things that you are doing, the habits, the patterns. Something's being done behind your back, right? Are you hiding or holding back information or aspect of yourselves, right? Please use caution in proceeding, or perhaps the mask is inviting you to be more protective of what you share. Draw another card for clarity in your next right action. Okay, outside influences. Guard your flaws and your faults with each other, because outside people knowing your flaws gives them an opportunity to get in your home, right? That's what that is. Don't let them know your next move. The only one that has the ability to even know your next move, if you even want to, is your significant other. And that's the friendship. That's that level of friendship within the union, in the marriage and all this other stuff, right? But that's the only person that you can even remotely trust with that. And then everybody has their own demons, so you can take that with a grain of salt. Alright, so moving on, in the place of transcendence, how do you transcend? If I transcend with a sense of air and then karmic path. Let's get it. So, air. Logic and critical thinking. Facts, information, research, and reasoning are required at this time. You may also need more information before proceeding. Drawing this card asks you to call on the element of air to help you in finding healthy resolutions. Alright. Logic over everything. Why does logic work? Because the mind should be a calculator. I need this done. This is how I plan to do it. Mind finished. I don't need the mind no more, because I have the plan now. I just do the thing, right? So, when the mind gets out of control, that's what we call ego. The ego's out of control. The ego's there now. The mind is not there. The ego has control. So, if you stay logical, logic is the middle ground between the spirit, understanding, the mind, the consciousness. And that's between you guys and spiritually at the same time. So, when you do this, the karmic path shows up. And let's see. A karmic lesson, learning experience, hard work, perseverance, and structure. A new and valuable lesson is available to you at this time. This moment requires your due diligence. Pay attention to what is being presented to you. Have you been down this road before? Our souls come to this earth school to learn valuable lessons as beings for the planet. What are you being taught right now? This moment may require hard work, but it may have long-lasting rewards. You are not being punished, but are gaining tools and experience for the living that will be with you for the rest of your life. Now, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So you can do something within the home that has negative effects, or something can be done to you, or an outside influence can have negative effects. And then next thing you know, there will be secondary negative effects because of your decisions, right? So the karmic path talks about the cycles and how you guys break them. So being logical behind breaking these karmic cycles, these trauma responses, learning how to navigate between those, you can make better reactions even, or have no reaction and have responses only. And that's the most control that you can have, a response. So lastly, the last card of this reading, it always happens like that. I was talking about this fire the whole time, the super conscious. and then a card came out. You can't even make it up, and it was face down. I didn't even know what it was. So, fire. This is in the place of the flag, what you guys united for, the reason, the over perspective, the reason, like your combined soul's mission, right? Light, creativity, drive, purity, passion, and new opportunities. The element of fire can free you from boredom, clear karma, and give you the energy required to take action. Be warned though, too much fire can also burn, so be mindful of utilizing this energy wisely by channeling it creatively. Meditate on this symbol with the essence of a candle to inspire creativity, motivation, and passion. Now, that just means like your ego can outweigh your ambitions, right? I need it to be this way, but it's balanced this way, and that's where it actually is meant to be, right? And crazy, 2 linking cards came up again, fire and air, and it was the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So that's a lot of connectivity right here when it comes up to the mastery of it all. And it says it can clear karma, and that brings the mastery, because if you don't have to face the same battles, then it's almost like you fortify what you guys have. And the attacks, they probably won't even need to attack you. They can't attack you with anything weak. It would get obliterated. They have to come at you with something stronger, but it's obvious now. It's more like a campaign against you. And you can see this happening, right? There will always be those infiltrators, but when you guys work together, there's only going to be evolution. Alright, so that was the end of the reading. This was basically my first relationship reading, so I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the concept behind it. I hope you understood it. I enjoyed doing this, and I appreciate you for being here. As I said before, this is going to be an app for the whole spiritual community and everybody who's tied to the spirit and all information of the spiritual world in general. It's all going to be in one place with Tarot at the head, and it's going to be beautiful. So if you like it, like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate you again. And with all that said and done, I'm Kafa. Peace.